Hey, good afternoon, guys. Hope all is doing well today. Couple of things I wanted to look at, just taking a view here at this Texas church shooting and some of the victims. Um, One thing that I just kind of wanted to point out was everyone kind of seems happy. And before I kind of get into it, I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm not saying that there weren't any victims. I'm not saying that no one died. What I'm just saying is pointing out some of the red flags that I noticed. And just because of all the BS that they've been feeding us years and years and years, it's just getting worse and worse, and we're starting to find more and more things out. So I wanted to take just a closer look about this, but I'm not offending or trying to offend anybody. If you had loved ones or someone close to you that did get hurt, my prayers and thoughts are with you. But as for some of these other ones, they kind of just stand out to me, and I wanted to kind of just go over it. But what I was noticing was that everyone here just seems to be happy. You know, everyone's smiling. You got a few in here that are kind of like, okay, straight faces. But the way I'm looking at it is they just want to make sure that they make it seem like they're super happy, outgoing, joyful. They always say this about the same people, and I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm not saying that that's how they were, but it's funny. I mean, they're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, Greg was an asshole" or something like that. You know, they're gonna just try your best to really get you in the feels. So, just taking a look here, Annabelle, also known as Belle, love attending her father's church so much that her family members would beg to sit in the front row. Okay, so first of all, I don't know any kid that begs to sit in the front row. I mean, it does say that her father's church. I don't know if his father's the actual pastor or not, but I don't know. Maybe there's a kid out there that likes to beg. But it says even when her parents weren't there. So even when I was a child, I went to Sunday school. My parents were still there. I don't know anybody that would attend or let their kid attend church when they're not there. Maybe if they're going with another family member or something, who knows, but died to her faith. As we can kind of see here and go down to, you got happy together, happy family, happy together. Just kind of a nice common thing that I'm seeing. Let's see here. What else do we got? He's a very good husband who loved life and loved smiling and joking around. All right. Let's see what else we got here. You couldn't ask for any sweeter people in the world, said Paul. Pastor knew a couple. I mean, Brian had a face that would just light up the room. Carla was funny and joyous. Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm not saying that they weren't at all. It's just funny that they put the same thing here in all of them. But kind of taking a look at this picture, I wanted to kind of notice, because you got Evelyn and her siblings. It says her siblings right there. But I kind of wanted to just notice where this is at. So this is either like in their home or at the church. So I don't know if like maybe they set this up and like this was like beforehand, I guess, but I don't know. It just kind of seems weird to me. Like, let's pose for this picture and then all of a sudden this happens, or that this is their house. And I don't know, it kind of looks out of date for a house. It looks out of date for a church, in my opinion. But the look of the church, it is kind of older. But just noticing like a microwave here and like a paper shredder and some stuff we had posted. I don't know if they tried to make this look like a home, but I don't know what this is. This doesn't really look like a home to me. This is probably at the church, but I don't know. It's just kind of a red flag in my eye. But coming down here too, wanted to note that Dennis Johnson, veteran both U.S. Navy and in the Army, and being here in the heart of Texas, San Antonio, where Texans love their Second Amendment right, it's surprising to me that 26 people got hurt without one single person having a firearm on them or anyone like around. I mean, I know there was that guy that ran and came to help, but as far as the people who attended the church, nobody had a firearm, especially a retired vet. And then this is, yeah, another thing I wanted to notice too here, Robert and Carrot. Karen Marshall, originally from the Pittsburgh area. And then there's something else too up here. According to New York Times, Wood Sutherland Springs. Okay, so I think that's in Texas, but there's a few of them here that says they're from out of area, and it's just kind of weird that this small little church would bring all these people together from all over the place. It's not like a huge church. It's just, I mean, I guess they could originally just come from here, and that could just mean nothing, or all these people were made up and they just have weird backstories. Another thing I want to notice too, this McNulty 33, of course I got to hide it in here somewhere. And I'm not saying that this person didn't really exist and that she wasn't really 33. It's just 33 being the highest level of Freemasonry that you can get to. I feel like with all the news stories that you find out there, they hide it in somewhere. And just like before too, it could be whatever. It could just mean nothing, but like my brain automatically sees stuff like this. Like we got Megan, who's 9, and Emily, who's 11. You got 9/11. But yeah, just more and more super happy people. No one who's, you know, looks like they're just having a rough day or got a serious face on. They're all just trying to get you in the feel strings and get you where it hurts, because they're all super loving, caring parents. And I'm not saying that they weren't. It's just pointing out patterns. But one thing that I kind of wanted to go over too after this, with this, how this is all set up, is this article. And it's AI creates photorealistic faces of people who don't exist. So the artificial intelligence creates people who do not exist. And as you can see here, these people clearly look like they're real. They look like Hollywood stars or makeup. They look like models, like makeup models almost, but kind of noticing how everything's lined up here. These aren't real people. These are made from a computer, the artificial intelligence. Happy, okay, happy. These are okay, happy. Just take a look at these faces and take a look at like what these people look like, and then let's go back here to the Texas church shooting, and it's almost exactly the same. Smile, 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 happy, straight face, happy. I guess fuzzing it up a little bit could kind of make it look like it's old. But just kind of something that I noticed, thought it was kind of interesting. And my personal belief is they're going to be creating more and more of these events that happen. And now that they don't need real people, they can just create real people. They're going to make it to where the United States citizens want to hand over their gun. See, I guess I wouldn't necessarily say order out of chaos, but order with chaos. And just like as these shootings continue to happen and more of these people keep getting created, the average dumbed down American is going to want to hand over their gun because of all this stuff that's going on. And I feel like, honestly, that's exactly what they're pushing. Look at this. These people look real. This is insane. Look at how far they've gone and how advanced they've gone. This is just insane. And these people all look like Hollywood actors, makeup artists. It's crazy. If they can do that, they can make people who look like just normal, regular, everyday people. But in doing so, let's take a look here. Just kind of wanted to go over a few. Keith Allen Braden. Let's take a look at Keith, shall we? Keith Allen. We'll go ahead and we'll look at Keith Braden. I am far away. I'm not in the same state whatsoever, but it should still be able to come up with something, especially with all the events that gone up. You would feel like people would be visiting their Facebook saying, you know, much we miss them, sharing it, whatever. Maybe it got taken down. I don't know. But so far, just not seeing anybody who looks quite like this Keith Braden. Keith Braden. Maybe he didn't have a Facebook. Maybe he didn't have a Facebook. So, a diligent worker. Yeah, but just an article that comes up, nothing No actual Facebook. So let's try someone else real quick, because maybe he doesn't have one. Let's try Shaniqua again. Let's try her, see what comes up. Maybe we can find her. Because even though, you know, people might have Facebook, this can still come up with something. What a purpose memory. Even if you type it in Google, sending it back, usually what it sends is what's on Facebook. I don't believe that's not the same person. None of these. The only thing that comes up are just the articles of the same picture, nothing else. Yeah. Does anybody know if Bob and Sherry are safe? So I don't know. Let's take a look at somebody else real quick too. The Holcombs doesn't really sound. Let's find someone who doesn't really have. I guess these are all such. Okay, so these are all just common names. Marshall, Krager, Johnson. Let's look at Tara McNulty, see if she's got something maybe. But yeah, it's the only pictures that are coming up are the ones that they released. McCauley was a mom with children. Da 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 da. Ooh, is this her? I think, guys. Hold on. Yep, we found one. I don't know if this is real though. Let's go back a little bit. Because this looks like July 28th. This looks like it could be real. But I'm not sure, guys. This could just be someone's, just a fake account. So there's one that we found. So we found one, and I think that's because of the McNulty last name. She had a GoFundMe account. So, all right, let's look at Peggy Warden. See if she's got one real quick. Shelton, that's not her. Florida. No, because this one's, she's a little bit older, isn't she? So I don't know if Peggy doesn't look like she has one. Just looks like, I guess, maybe an age thing. The only one that I was able to find, and that's only because the last name was the Tara McNulty. And I don't know if that's just something that they created real quick or set it up or have planned, or if she was a real person. Maybe she was a real person. If so, I hope she rests in peace and she's with the Lord now. It's just awful, but I just like to expose evil. I like to expose what's going on around the world. I like to kind of point out the facts that don't make up. Just like stuff like this and what they're pushing. So we were able to find one. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. At least 26 killed in mass shooting in Texas. We know that. This is what I wanted to point out. Multiple sources speaking out on Fox News identified the gunman as 26-year-old Devin Patrick Kelly. The mass shooting unfolded around 11:30 a.m. So it's always going to be coded, and this is your, of course, Fox News. This is on the actual website of Fox. Fox in numerology, meaning 666. So then, of course, you get your coded 311. So it's going to be somewhere, guys. They're going to code it. You just got to find it, find the numbers, and there it is. For this one, just a couple of things that I noticed. Apparently, this guy had was released from a mental institute, I guess, in 2012. So already these firearms that they're getting, they shouldn't have even had to begin with. And with 26 dead and walking up and down the aisle, they said it was a Ruger AR-556, that's semi-automatic. It would take, I'm not saying that it can't be done, but it would definitely take some time. And it's super loud too. And just everything that's going on with Texas and people being aware, they know what their guns sound like. They know what's going on. It's just Crazy. Most Southern Springs killed. It looked worse than a war zone, is what it says right here. It looked worse than a war zone, but yet there's no pictures that they show us. They barely gave us any pictures for the Vegas shooting. The only thing that we got were someone laying on top of someone and just everything scattered everywhere. But yet we can go to these other massacres, and they got pictures of everything. They got pictures of what happened at Columbine. They got pictures in different countries, but they won't give us what actually just happened in the news, and that's a red flag for me, because if it actually looked like a war zone out there, this is what a war zone looks like, and that's what he said. He said it looked worse than this, but yet there's no pictures that they were able to give us, no facts that actually went on. No one had their cameras out, no one recorded it. It's just some things that I wanted to just kind of look over and kind of go over with you guys. Targeted, yeah, and that's another thing with like the kids that they're putting on here, the babies, they're making it seem like they're targeting infants, and I'm not saying that they're not, but it just goes with more fuel on the fire for them pushing their fabricated stories. They want to pull out your heartstrings and say that these people are now like targeting babies, like he went after it just to get babies and not everyone else, when I guess that's not the case. But yeah, another thing I wanted to show you guys about, 20 other people were wounded. So many people were wounded, but yet nobody had another gun. Nobody had cell phone footage or any cameras or anything like that. Said investigators collect at least 15 empty magazines. Do you know how many magazines that is and how many rounds that is? That's a lot of rounds. That's heavy. At least 30 rounds at each scene. So it's 450 rounds, guys. 450 rounds. That's insane. That's like an MG42 on the back of a military Humvee. Not a single couple of rounds or a single couple of cases and empty magazines, excuse me, from an AR-556. If you just kept shooting and drop it, clip, shooting it, it would melt. You know, it gets so hot. But it's just bizarre to me. I guess he had a couple other weapons as well, and just the fact of where it's at, how they're targeting Texas, is just bizarre to me that nobody else had a gun, and that he's just showed up with an assault rifle and a couple pistols and just shot a couple people outside the church, and nobody heard those, and nobody got up to leave. Everyone just kind of stayed in the church as he just walked up and down the aisle shooting. It was just, excuse me, it was just awkward and different. I guess you could say. It didn't really make sense to me. But let's see. See Devin shooting down the aisle. So let's see. Here. The gunman who killed 26 people, a small town, just went aisles to aisle looking for victims and shot crying babies at point blank range. So he shot crying babies at point blank range. I'm sorry, but if I'm sitting in church and my child is right here and someone walks up to him with a gun at point blank range, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to pry your life away from my cold dead fingers before I let you come even close to my child. Like, it's just stuff that, I don't know, just doesn't really add up to me. So many different, so many questions and so many things that they're leaving out. They just, I don't know. It just kind of didn't really make sense to me, guys. And that's why I wanted to just kind of make this video, kind of go over a few things, show you what I noticed from this. Yeah, it's just, it's different. The numbers are hitting, and they're getting smarter with the numbers and hiding the numbers, but the numbers will always be there, guys. It will always be there. So you got to look for the numbers. It's just really sad. I hope that this didn't really happen. I, pray that stuff like this would not happen, and that's why I just pray that people would wake up to kind of see that if it is fake, to see that it's fake, and to really, really look into every single detail that they give us, and instead of just listening to what they throw out there. But you guys let me know what you think. I know you guys have probably done some research. I know there's other research videos out there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what, any other facts that you've picked up or that you've seemed to notice. And yeah, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try and do some more of these stories. This is kind of like a new thing that I'm going to get into. I just kind of want to go over like these news stories that's happening and just see what you guys kind of think about what's going on. And I figure like this would be a good one to start. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys have a blessed day and stay safe out there.